Hello. Good morning, everybody. Um, Before we start, I need to be sure that I'm connected. So if you can hear me loud and clear, can you put drop a message in the chat box? If you can hear me, can you drop a message in the chat box so that we can get started? All right, perfect. So you can hear me. That's good. So we're going to get started. I want to welcome you again to our weekly market outlook. Um, we couldn't have it last week and 2 weeks ago because of some reasons. But even though we have still been posting setups on the Telegram community, and for some of you that have been joining us every time, for those of you that have been joining us every time during this live stream, like since the beginning of this year, I believe that some of the setup that I post on the Telegram channel you have an idea of on how we got there. Like, because the same strategy that I discussed with you in this life is also the same one I use to sending setups on the Telegram community. And I mean, we've had a good run, although we had, like, I think one trade hit stop loss or so. But despite that, we've had a good run this month. I think by the end of the month, we're going to still calculate how many pips we've been able to make um in the month of May. Okay. All right. Once again, it's good to have you. It's good to have you all again connecting with us. And please, if you are here and you are not on the Telegram community is like is the fastest means of communication between you and I. So make sure that you go back and be connected on the Telegram community, right? That is where I drop setups. That is where we drop updates and all that, right? Okay, so we're going to get started with today's analysis. We're going to get started, and before I start, one of the purpose why we always go live is so that you can have an understanding of how I look at the market. What are the things I look for? What are the things I see before I set my pending order, my buy limit or my sell limit order? And those are the same things I see that has been giving us consistent profit. Okay, so that's the purpose of us having this live session, and we're going to get started with it. But one thing that you're going to do for me is, if there's any pair that you've been looking at and you still want me to analyze it, you want to see my directional bias on that currency pair or any commodity, just put it in the chat box. Just drop it in the chat. If you want me to analyze any pair whatsoever, just put it in the chat, and before the end of this stream, I'm going to be I'll be analyzing it and, you know, telling you my bias on it. Okay, but as usual, I would be analyzing XAUSD, which is gold. I'll be analyzing GBP, JPY. I'll also be analyzing BTC USD. Those are the constant pair I always analyze, right? But if you want more, if you want me to analyze more, please put it in the chat box so that I can do that for you. All right. That being said, we're going to get straight to the business of the day. And right now, as you can see, this is the XAUSD chart. And technically looking at this, what gold has been, the kind of move that gold has been making so far has been to the upside, right? We had this, this, then the last high, right? This is the all-time high on gold, right? And then there was a rejection. Then we got a new low, lower high. We got a lower high, and then a lower low which caused a change of character, and we had this, and this is forming at the moment. So technically looking at gold, this is the daily time frame. Please take notes. This is the daily time frame. So looking at gold right now, what can you say about it? The only thing I can say about it is that gold has broken structure to the downside. It has changed character rather to the downside on higher time frame. So the bias on gold is going to be to the downside, is going to be sell, right? I'm looking at a selling bias on gold. Let me increase this. I'm looking at a selling bias on gold. At the same time, I can spot this very lovely trend line here, right? This is the first and the second time, right? So I just connected these highs, the higher high there and the lower high, okay, to form this descending trend line. And technically the expectation here on gold is that, okay, price is ideally supposed to come test this trend line, and then we'll have a new lower we have a new lower low, right? But it's two ways. Now it means that before, it's either we see a rejection straight down from this level to form a new lower low, or we see price pull up to the trend line and come back to the lower low. Now overall the bias is still going to be to the downside on gold. The only thing that is going to change your bias on gold is if you got a break of trend line and a retest, then you can now say gold is preparing to, that's the only time you can say that gold is preparing to test the all-time high, and that is when you have a bullish bias. But for now the bias on gold is sell. Now the purpose of having this on higher time frame is so that we can get a direction, right? Now two things are involved right now. It is either we get a massive sell, right? It's either we keep getting a massive sell, and the only thing that is going to make me feel like, oh, there's not going to be a short buy before that massive sell, is if this level gets broken fully. If this level gets broken fully to the downside, then I would be sure that market doesn't want to make a short buy before the sell off. But for now, fingers crossed, right? So right now it is either we get a short buying opportunity to this trend line, and I mean, this is, don't forget, this is daily time frame on gold, so we still have like how many pips, let's say 2,700 pips to be taken to the upside before the trend line, right? Before we can now have a massive sell-off, or we can also have a massive sell-off from here without price doing that short buy. So fingers crossed. So that being said, what matters is the kind of structure that is happening on the lower time frame, right? Don't forget, the sentiment is more to the downside than the upside. The upside is just a temporary, is just going to be a temporary move if there is, right? I hope you are following. If you are following, please drop it in the chat box. If you are following, drop it in the chat box. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is to move to the lower time frame, and the next time frame I use is the 1 hour time frame. Now we want to see what the 1 hour time frame is looking like. Okay, so on the 1 hour time frame, I can see, okay, what can we see there? I can see a change of character that happened here. Market was pulling to the upside, and a change of character that happened somewhere here. Okay, so I'm just going to expand this and understand what is happening at this point. Okay, so take a look at this. Okay, what do we have here? A change of character, and market has been breaking structure to the downside. Like you can see a break of structure, and this was the last break of structure that happened here. I hope we didn't miss this trade. Oh my god, this was the last break of structure. Oh my god, that was a missed trade on higher time, on H1, on H1. So this was the break of structure that happened here, and you know, the next thing, the move responsible for that break of structure, we want to spot the other block, responsible for that break of structure. And me looking at this, I can see the other block straight up. The other block is the balance candle before the imbalance. Don't forget, if you are new to SMC, make sure you go to the previous video on this YouTube channel to check what break of structure, change of character, bullish order block, bearish order block, and all those things, fair value gap, what they mean, right? Please go back to the first video so that you can understand. Okay, so the other block responsible for this break, or this is the break of structure, right? Now the other block responsible for this move is right here. This was a very simple setup that we missed. This was the other block responsible, which is the pin bar before this bearish candle, right? This was the beginning of the move that came to this downside, that broke this structure to the downside, right? And looking at this, I can also spot a tiny fair value gap. Not much, but yeah, we can see its fair value gap right there. And this is a perfect confirmation for us. Remember, I told you that fair value gap, I don't take my entries from fair value gap. I only use fair value gap as a confirmation that that other block is strong, for price to have pushed and created a gap in between the first and third candle, right? So ideally we're supposed to position ourselves. Why didn't I see this? We're supposed to position ourselves here, put our stop loss above this, and put our take profits at the sell side, right? This is like 1 to 5. This is like 1 to 5, a sweet one, a sweet one. And market has already made how many pips move downward? This market has already made 500 pips downward. Okay, but yeah, that's not a big deal. Yeah, we missed the trade, it's not a big deal. So the best thing we can do for ourselves is to find a way to still position ourselves in this move, right? So we know that price at the moment is reacting to this other block. That means the other block is responsible for this sell-off. So let's see if we can get into a short position. So we are going to move on to a lower time frame, which is M15. And on the 15 minutes time frame, you could spot a change of character, right? A change of character, even if we use this, okay? And then we want to spot, okay, I can see another one here. I can see another one here. I can see another one here, and the other block responsible for this is this tiny one over here. Okay, and of course it came with a fair value gap. Can you see that? Now if this doesn't hold, if this doesn't hold, this is also the next other block. Now this is the 15 minutes time frame. Let's go and see it on, let's go and see the two other blocks on the lower time frame. Let's see how it looks. On lower time frame, does it look better? Does this look better? No. The other one, let's check 1 minute. Let's see how it looks on 1 minute time frame. Okay, on 1 minute time frame, I can readjust this particular order block to this. Can I readjust my the first one? Do I have the opportunity to adjust the first one? Okay, I think I have the opportunity right here. This is the other block right here. So let me just delete my fair value gap. Okay, so let's go back to the 5 minutes time frame. All right, so I've readjusted my two other blocks, and what I want to do is to position myself right now. So I'm going to be looking at an opportunity to either continue riding the sell to the downside, putting my stop loss there. This is about 40 pips to get 1 to 4, and this is about this is also another 40 pips. And with this, I'll be targeting 1 to 8. Okay, don't forget these two orders is just so that we can get another opportunity to enter this particular market, to get another opportunity to enter. Yeah, we would have been in profit if we entered this, but then we missed out, and we are trying to join the rejection from this other block. We're trying to join the party, and this is the first place I would have joined the party, and the second place I would join the party. Okay, so please let's lock in those orders. We're going to send the exact this thing to the group very soon, but if you can see it, please just try and put your sell limit order at this price, 4542.32, and another sell limit order at 4559.92. I'm ready to join the party. Okay, so that's my buyers on gold for this morning. We're going to move on to another pair. Please, if you got that, kindly put it in the chat box. If you got that, put it in the chat box. Let me see if I can quickly, because this might be a quick trade, let me see if I can quickly send it to the community so that you can have this picture and you know where to position yourself. Let me quickly do that. 1 second. Okay, that's done. All right, we're going to move to another pair. I'm going to be moving to BTC USD. Let's see what we have on BTC USD. All right, as usual, I'm going to start the analysis from the daily time frame. Oh my God, this is so colorful. This is too colorful. Let me look for. I can still use this. I can still use this. All right. So what do we have on BTC USD from the daily time frame? I can see that market is what market is doing. The buyers on BTC, there's no doubt about it. The buyers on BTC is to the downside, but there is um there is a little sign of a bullish momentum because this trend line, this daily trend line has been broken to the upside. So we might see BTC pushing to this upside. So even if we are going to have a sell again on BTC, at least BTC is ideally supposed to push to this upside, and then we'll now have this massive sell-off. Okay, that is a possibility. Another possibility is that markets could come back to retest this trend line and then come to this other block or this one and then still have a massive sell-off. I don't know, anytime I check BTC, I'm always looking at a massive sell-off. Like, maybe it's because of that, maybe it's because that is my wish. Because I'm just hoping that BTC will go back to 10,000 so that all of us can start again freshly. We can start again. Like, we'll hold each other's hand and then we'll start together. All right, so the buyers on BTC at the moment is to the upside. I'm seeing after this break of trend, I could see markets breaking structure to the upside. So yes, the momentum is to the upside. But then if we see a structure that says sell on the lower time frame, we'll still be able to take a short sell. But at the time we are taking that short sell, we'll be it at the back of our mind that the sell will not last long, because ideally we are still supposed to see markets push to this other block right here and this second other block right here. Okay, that's that about that. So we're going to move on very fast. We'll move on to the lower time frame. If you are just joining, please, if there's any setup you want me to analyze for you uh before I leave here, kindly put it in the chat box. Okay, so the next thing, we're going to go to 1 hour time frame and see what 1 hour time frame looks like. I think we've really had a good run on BTC USD. You can see our take profits. We really had a good run on BTC USD. Okay, no, don't tell me we missed another trade on BTC USD. Don't tell me that. Oh my God. My post. Oh my God. I wanted to set this order yesterday. Why? All right, we move. So BTC USD has been making change character to this downside, right? The major change of character to the downside, and then we've been having a break of structure, break of structure, break of structure, and this break of structure, this was like the last one here. The move responsible for the break of structure, where did it happen? Now this is dicey. For some people, they will pick the top here, that the break of structure happened right here, right? While some people will pick this place, that the move that caused that break of structure started officially from this point, because this one was also responsible for this little change of character, because markets pushed to the upside and then the change of character happened here, and this was the genesis of the move. Either ways, for someone like me, you know how I do it. Even if I'm going to put my order here, I don't want to put my stop loss above this. I still want to put my stop loss at this top, So even if I use this other block or this other block, I'm still in the same zone. I'm still in the same zone. Oh my god, I analyzed, I think I analyzed this PA yesterday. Let me see. Let me see. Okay, and this was my analysis yesterday. And as it got into the okay, good, 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 good. Oh my god. Oh, it was this other block I selected. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough, not bad. All right, so let's just have a fresh eye. Let's have a fresh eye to the market. Let's see what is happening at the moment, right? And what we can see at the moment is reacting, price reacting to this other block right here, right? And ideally, this is supposed to be our take profit zone. This is about 1 to 4.5. 1 to 4.5, but that has happened. So let's just see what is happening freshly. Which kind of bias can we have on BTC USD right now? This is 1 hour time frame. Break of structure, a change of character, a break of structure. Okay, so technically I can see a break of structure to the upside. Don't forget the temporary bias on BTC USD on daily time frame is that we might see a buy right to that other block. That other block is still far away though, to the other block up here. Okay, so let's check lower time frame, the 15 minutes time frame. Let's see what we have there. On the 15 minutes time frame, the move responsible for this break of structure to the upside started from this other block, right? It started from this other block, and let me see if I can get a better other block on lower time frame. On the lower time frame, I can readjust my other block. Technically it's still the same, so let me go back to 15 minutes. So I've adjusted my other block, and my fair value gap is indeed a gap. You can see how massive the fair value gap is, right? So what we're supposed to do is to put a pending order, a buy limit order, take profit below this, a stop loss below this, and take profits at the tip of this other block to avoid complication. So this is my bias on my immediate bias on BTC USD. Although yesterday when I analyzed this, I wasn't I was hoping that markets wouldn't have reacted to this other block. Now this other block might be strong enough to push price to the downside, but at the same time, your strategy is your strategy, your structure is your structure. There is no pressure about that, right? Because eventually at the end of the day, it is still about your risk to reward that matters, that keeps you in the game, right? So guys, we can lock in this trade as well, a buy limit order at 76188, and put a stop loss, and then this is a quick 1 to 4. This is a quick 1 to 4, right? I think this thing is very simple to analyze. It makes sense now. Right? It's making sense because all what you are looking for is a very good structure. Your directional bias on higher time frame, a very good structure, and then you set your pending order, and then you go about your daily activity. Okay, guys, don't forget, I can't see if there is any pair you want me to analyze. You are not putting it in the chat box. Okay, by the time I'm done with GBP JPY, then I'll be out of here. But if you want me to analyze anything for you before then, please put it in the chat box. All right. And make sure you stay to the end of this live, because I have an important information for a good news for everybody. The next one is GBPJPY. GBPJPY, let's see, what do we have here? So the first thing is to go to our daily time frame, and without even thinking twice, you would agree with me that our bias on GBPJPY is to the upside, right? You can see market has been buying. I mean, if you are selling GBPJPY now these days, on God, you're on God, you're on your own. You're on your own. Market has been to the um it has been to the upside. And technically, what this means is, before anything can happen, at least market is going to push to this up to this high. So we are going to have a buy to that high. So we've already established that. We'll go to the 1 hour time frame. On the 1 hour time frame, I had to stay out of GBPJPY, especially when all this was happening. I don't know some of you, if you entered any of this trade, any GBPJPY trade around this place. Like, you could see, this is the height of economic disorder, right? All this. So I really stayed out of GBPJPY for a while, until I think yesterday, when I see that market is not making that erratic move again and is making a reasonable move, right? But this move is still to the upside. Yeah, we can see this. The market has broken this level to the upside, and before then, market broke 1, 2, and 3, right? So let's go to the lower time frame. Let's see what's happening there. Now on the lower time frame, what can we see on the lower time frame? Okay, it looks like the reasonable point of interest at this point is, ideally, number one, this was where the break of structure, the double break of structure happened. So we are supposed to be looking for another block at this area first, and then another block at this area. Okay, can I spot any other block here? Not looking like it. It's not looking like it. Why do I have another direction this morning? I already analyzed this and dropped it on Telegram yesterday. Okay, let's see if we can spot another block at this point. So let's go to okay, fair enough. I can pick this place as my other block before that massive buy. Go back to 15 minutes. Okay, I can pick that place as my other block, and of course, you see my favorite gap is indeed a gap, and then I position myself. Now, where do I want to put my stop loss? Okay, I can decide to, because of price action, put it here to target here, but that's not a reasonable risk to reward. This is like 1 to 8.9, so I'll take more advantage of risk to reward. All right, and I'll put my stop loss here. I'll put my stop loss here. 1 second, let me check the buyers I have. The one I drew on the Telegram community. The one I dropped on the Telegram community. Oh, it's even far off. I think I did this on 1 hour time frame. It's far off. Don't mind my rough chart here. Like if you are doing this thing, apart from the simple ones I'm showing you, you have to, look at other confirmations and all that. So don't mind it. All right, so this is my immediate buyers on GBP We are looking at an opportunity to buy from this other block. So guys, please go and lock in this trade. We'll also be sending it to the Telegram community. We are buying from 213669. Buy limit at 213669. And we are taking our profit at desire. So that's that. We've been able to analyze gold, BTC, and GBP Let me check. Is there any other pair that you want me to analyze for you? Oh, I think you guys are good. You guys are good, right? So I'll send the three market analysis that we've done. I'll send it to the community. We'll send it to the Telegram community after this stream. Okay. I think that will be the end of our weekly market outlook. But before you go, like I said, I have a news for you. We've recently opened a private, should I call it private, like an in-house trade community. Yeah, it's still part of Easy Pips community, but it is more of an in-house community where that's why you see that I'm not usually online very much around 1 to 3, and I'm always dropping posts on my WhatsApp status, talking about how we are taking profit from the forex market every day and all that. So if you would really love to join our in-house community where we place trade every day, daily trades, every day between the hours of 1 to 3 Nigerian time. After this live stream, just make sure that you text the admin, send a message to the admin on the Telegram community or Facebook or anywhere. Just send the text, or on WhatsApp, send a text to the admin and request that you want to join the in-house community. I think the only criteria is for you to fund, and you can actually fund any amount. You can fund as low as $10, $20, $30 to join us in picking the trade. So how does it work? What happens is by 1 o'clock I'll analyze the market. This is fast trade. So by 1 I analyze the market and we place a call to everybody in the WhatsApp community, and then we send the analysis, and then we'll tell you when to buy. We also tell you when to close the trade in profit or in loss, right? So we tell you that. So it's more like you're just with me and I'm just telling you, yeah, okay, buy at this point and sell at this point. This is for those that are ready to make money, some fast money. Okay, so if you're ready to do that, I mean, just come with any deposit. It doesn't matter how much, and you'll be added to the community. Like I always say, that the goal in forex is not for one person to just make the money. One person cannot make all the money in forex market. And I always say that my profit does not affect your profit. So if I analyze the market and I make profit, and you analyze and you make profit, they wouldn't take out of my own profit to pay you. Everybody can still keep making the money. Okay, so if you really want to join the community, and don't forget, it is also high intensity trading. It is high intensity trading. You want to be very fast to get in, and you want to be very fast to get out. At the same time, you want to, the most important thing is you have to come with your risk appetite, ready to risk. Don't come if you know that it is one money that you cannot afford to lose. In fact, if you want to sign up with any broker, they always tell you, don't put any money you cannot afford to lose in forex. It is very, very, very important. But if you have one loose money somewhere and you would love to flip, we've done a lot of flipping in the past few weeks. For example, I flipped like $90 to like $850, like $100 to $500 multiple times, um $1,500 to like maybe $4,000, and so on. We've done a lot of flipping in the past few days. So if you really want to join that community, it is free. It is free for everybody. The only criteria is that you just have to come in with any deposit you want, as any amount, as low as $10. Just come in and let us all um make money together. So if you want more information about that, please send a message to the admin and then you'll be added to the group. All right, thank you so much for coming to today's live stream. We'll be dropping the market analysis to the Telegram page shortly so that you can lock in your trades. And I wish you all a peaceful week. And please don't forget to drop my Salah meet. I'm busy Salah Eleya meet. Thank you guys. I'll see you again in the next one. Bye.